too. See, there they are in the black and white. There they are, like driving them into town. And look at the steering wheel. You were right in the center, and there was like a little spiral staircase that you walked up. Because those things go for like, I forget how much, like $2-3 million or something. Oh, that's
Really?
1936. It says Parade of Progress. So it shows you what I
Look at that motherfucker.
Yeah, that's just
Holy
weird.
shit. That's what you want. One of those, a rolling podcast studio.
No, that shit is too weird. But I appreciate it. Like when you know that old BMW where the whole front of the car opens up and you got the steering wheel like goes out, like disconnects and goes out with the front of the car. All right, it would help if I knew the names of the cars.
The steering wheel disconnects?
BMW has said, I just know Steve Urkel had it in Failing Matters. That's why I know about it.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's how, look at this.
So how you get in is you like open the front. Oh yeah, click on the red one. There it is. Yeah.
Whoa.
Saying there's the steering wheel. Oh, does it disconnect? There's something weird.
No, it seems like the steering wheel stays put,
stays
but
there.
it looks like it disconnects.
Well,
That's
maybe like it
crazy.
adjusts. It comes back.
You enter through the front. So if you get in a front end collision, you got to kick the windows out to get out of the car.
Yeah, and it's 3 wheels too. There's 1 wheel.
Urkel. Urkel, I forgot about Urkel.
His came off in the car.
I met him one time. He's like the coolest fucking guy
I
ever.
heard he's really nice.
I guess it bends over there. You see how it's turned down to the side?
Oh, it bends, and then you step over it. Whoa.
Yeah, I knew there was something. There was something about the steering wheel. Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit out there.
But you like weird stuff. You're not necessarily like you
know what
have an
this is
aversion
like?
to cool things.
No, it's like if you get into music, if you really get into a band, like if you're into AC/DC,
Right.
can you really listen to You Shook Me All Night Long again? Okay,
Right,
you're
right.
like, no, dude, you got to listen to What's Next to the Moon, Get It Hot, some of that, you
right.
know, or like COD. Like I like. After a while, you just like, all right, you know, like I would say, Shook Me All Night Long is the Mustang GT of AC/DC songs, and it's just like if you're out here, there's a zillion Mustangs, but it's like you. After a while, you want to see, you know, it's part of human beings. You want something a little bit different. It's a little different. It's cooler. Like I kind of learned from Fast and Loud that was it the Ford Falcon or something? It had the same chassis as the fucking Mustang, but like it's just a way cooler car because everybody goes for like the Mustang. You don't want to spend all that money and then some other fucking asshole shows up and he has one too.
That doesn't
Like-
bother me.
Bugs me. It's like when you're in a comedy club and then even if somebody just touches on the topic, you're like, fuck, I
Right.
can't talk about that.
Yes, I get that.
Because then it becomes like, oh, they all do that.
I get that, but there's a reason why everybody loves Mustangs.
I love them too. But I have this weird thing where I love the interior up to 66, but I like the back end on 60. What
67, 68?
Yeah, I like that back end,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
hate. But that's when they got the shit steering wheel. Like the steering wheel in the 60s looks like an old school steering wheel. And that one that they have in 67 or 68 was when they first came out with that one. That one starts to look like, oh, cars are going to get ugly now quickly. The last muscle car that I like that I vividly remember, like the last year, would probably be the 70 Camaro with like that shark nose front
Oh,
too.
yeah.
I like that. And then there's a Buick Riviera, the boat tail from the early 70s that I like. I'm really into those big 2-door sedan, sort of like, you know, he's his own man kind
Buick
of car.
Riviera type
Oh
deal.
yeah, I love those cars. I
Yes, yeah.
fucking love those cars. And you know, I'm trying to think. Like, there's a few cars in the '80s. It really tapers off though. But I like Ford trucks right up to '86. I didn't like when they did that first design of the aerodynamic headlights. I didn't like. But then there was one in the early '90s. The one OJ had, that front end on his Bronco. That
Yeah.
one is the shit.
Yeah, I saw one yesterday. Exactly
Yeah.
like your OJ's, like totally restored. I like muscle cars up into 71. 71 seems like the last year. Like 71 Barracuda is still a really nice car. Then it gets into 72, they start looking sketchy. 73, they look sketchy. After
Well,
73,
the worst thing
they're
was they
useless.
kept the model name, and then it was just completely deballed.
Yes.
Like when your friend starts going out with just some total cunt, and all of a sudden he can't hang out anymore. Like there was that era, you know, the Mustang 2 Cobra.
Oh yeah. Once
Like
they
that
got
shit.
into the 80s with Mustangs, they were useless. Late 70s, early 80s, and once the gas crisis hit, they started making economical Mustangs that didn't eat so much gas. They were useless. It's a hard fall between if you go from 67 to 77. It's like, what the fuck happened?
Then also the Mustang got all fat, like the Mach 1 and everything. It was like, kind of got into its Elvis years, you know. Hey, I'm the Mustang. I'm resting on my laurels here.
Well, there's no pizzazz to them. You know, like late 70s, 79 Mustang. There's no pizzazz.
This is how bad it went. It became so quickly. If you watch, like, remember when they had the Game Show Network? Mm-hmm. I used to love that because I was fascinated with prices, you know? And, like, they would be like, they actually tried to pass off a Chevy Vega as a sports car.
Really?
And these people were losing their minds. And I remember the Chevy Vega, like, a lot of, like, you know, guys who knew shit about cars back in the day, they would try to like jam Corvette engines into them because they couldn't afford a Corvette, but they knew about, you know, how to build cars and stuff. So
Vegas were real light too.
Yeah, there was always somebody had one of those, like an El Camino up on blocks.
Yeah,
I'm gonna finish that someday, man.
Yeah, and the El Camino is a rare breed of person that wants a pickup truck that's fucked a Chevelle. That's really what it is.
Right.
It's like a Chevelle front end. It looks good in the front, and then you get to the back, like, oh.
And then the 80s.
Look at that Vega.
Yeah, that was considered sporty.
That was back before girls had butts.
Well, girls with butts didn't get put on TV.
Oh, fine.
Yeah,
That's another amazing thing. Like, how do we? What happened when we realized? Was it Sir Mix-a-Lot? Like, what woke us up?
Yeah, he made the ass mainstream. I'm gonna give him credit.
Might have been. Before that, who else was it? Like,
It was all about tits.
Yeah.
White guys were running shit, and it was about tits. I don't know why. It was all about titties.
Something happened, and it became asses became really important.
But then I think, like, yeah, because now the fake ass, I think, is probably more prevalent than the fake titty. Like, remember by the 90s was, like, sort of the apex of the fake titty? You'd watch porn and the tit almost looked like bloodshot. There'd be, like, veins on the side, like they'd stretch the skin.
You see, yeah.
That was
right.
really bad. That was a really bad...
You have Fat Bottom Girls before that. But
Yeah.
It wasn't much before it, but...
Yeah, but I
was
don't
just
think...
a song.
I don't think... Yeah, they didn't... He was still Freddie Mercury prancing
Yeah.
around in the video, I think.
Yeah, good song though. Yeah, what was it? Like, who was like? No, it wasn't Jennifer
Well,
Lopez.
God bless,
wasn't known
God
for the
bless
first
him,
big ass.
because I was always an ass man, always. I always
Yeah.
just felt like that was the nucleus of a woman. If she had a nice ass, the rest of her body was going to be nice. I didn't give a shit. You eat cupcakes, great. They won't be hanging on your fucking knees when I'm 50, bald, smoking a cigar, doing a podcast.
It's weird though that the shape caught on. It's very strange. Like what guys are attracted to changed.
Well, I think because white people were so dominant with fucking owning everything that their idea of beauty became the standard, and just
but
generally
white
speaking,
guys' idea of beauty changed too. That's what's strange. It's like
I would say it's somewhere Yo MTV Raps, somewhere around there. I'm just making up shit. Somewhere around there. I'm gonna give Ed Lover and the other Dr. Dre credit.
I think it happened around the same time girls lost their pubes. Because when we were in high school, everyone had pubes. Even in college, everyone had pubes.
The apex of pubes was the 70s.
But in the 80s they had it
But
too.
you were proud of your pubes
In the 70s?
in the 70s.
Yeah?
Dude, I remember, like, you'd go to the fucking public pool and the chicks had, like, the bikini. There was, like, shit coming out the sides. And I remember thinking when I was a little kid, like, oh my God, I can see her pubes.
Yeah, pubes were hot.
Yeah.
Everyone had pubes. Even in college, everyone had pubes.
The apex of pubes was the 70s.
But in the 80s they had it
But
too.
you were proud of your pubes
In the 70s?
in the 70s.
Yeah?
Dude, I remember, like, you'd go to the fucking public pool and the chicks had, like, the bikini. There was, like, shit coming out the sides. And I remember thinking when I was a little kid, like, oh my God, I can see her pubes.
And it was, for some reason, I have it connected in my mind with a boxing match that was on TV because I was so bummed out. Sugar Ray Leonard fought Terry Norris. And
I know that name, I should say.
Terry Norris was a monster. So was Sugar Ray when he was in his prime, but he got older and he fought Terry Norris when Terry Norris was just a demon. He was so good, and Sugar Ray just had no business.